Hey! Welcome to ElementalDnDs new podcast, Re-Imagined. In this, we use a homebrew style of D&D, which instead of classes, people get elements. Now, before we get started, remember what happened last week? Avery and Adder found themselves trying to figure out Ergo's potion for it to be a potion of flying. Then, later on, they found a small mouse folk person crying and spilling out shadows. Avery ran for help while the rest fought these animals? That's about all that happened last session. So how about we hop into this one? There's a bird who just flew onto the ground behind me. Y'all can enjoy that. Bye. So this session's going to be a tiny bit different because this session, well, it's time to explore the campus. So for today, Ergo had came to your dorms and they mentioned, hey, we're going to do combat training today. I will see you all at the Mud Stadium at 3 o'clock. And it is your weekend, so, And they seemed a little irritated when they left and they were carrying a stack of papers nearly as tall as themselves. But with that, you all have been left with the whole day to explore, and we're going to go through exploring the campus with each character. Where we're going to start off with this is Edwin. In one of your earlier classes, you had heard about the supply shop / storage area that is about a 200-foot wide building that just sits on like the far corner of the campus, and always has students entering and leaving, mostly trying to get supplies for like school stuff. And you know what? You're like, maybe I could check that out today. On the way there, it is a building that has lots of glass windows. And when you look inside, there is a bunch of just floating Tupperware like containers full of like little knickknacks here and there. And upon going inside, you would notice that M is there, the small mouse folk with a hood over his ears, with his ears poking out along slits along the side. And then along with that, you see a dryad, an autumn dryad that has all these orange leaves going across their body. And you look at them, they're frantically looking around as if like, kind of like something's gonna pop out and get them. Along with that, there is just never-ending floating crates of supplies, whether it be pencils that will write commands because they have the graphite in them and is enchanted with earth, and then the whole thing is enchanted with air to listen to you speak so that it may do your bidding. There is a plant lunchbox that will produce fruit and vegetables every single day. And there is also an owl tabaxi behind a register that is just sitting there waiting with white and dark brown like speckled feathers and just sitting there with a very dull look on their face.
I think for the most part, Edwin is probably just going to like browse for a bit to get a vibe, you know, like just see what kind of like, you know, trinkets, knickknacks, whatever there is, you know.
Okay.
Before like he does have kind of like a goal here, but for now he's gonna
a few of the random knickknacks is stuff like self-setting utensils, shadow pets, seashells that launch air that are from the floating isles, and stuff like that. What kind of things are you looking for in particular?
Call my boy delusional, but he went here because he wants to find, I guess, like a tool to help him channel his electricity that he believes he has.
Okay. You could probably go up to the shopkeep and they might be able to help you find that.
Yeah.
You go forward to the owl tabaxi, which I know tabaxis are typically like cat-like, but whatever. Hello. How can I help you?
Hey, so, geez. So this, this school, I came here because I got, problems or whatever, right? And so I have, I think I'm a lightning type, but I can't seem to actually, properly use my lightning. So do you have, anything I could, to, help me try and, evoke my cool, awesome lightning powers?
Yeah. If you go over there, there's a little box. It's got these long, steel rods, I guess. Types.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Please don't shoot electricity out. I'm the third year who's supposed to take care of the shop today, and I don't want issues.
Okay, not in the store. That's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
As you go over, there's a bin with all these steel rods in them, and they're titled the Bug Zappers.
Okay.
And what they do is they channel lightning through them, and at the way end, it will shoot out a small zap of lightning to anything in the sky around it. And so people frequently use them to zap bugs.
Okay. Edwin thinks this might be perfect. If not at least a step in the right direction,
Yeah.
So he's all about it, but the Tabaxi did say not to shoot lightning in the store. So I guess he will do I have to buy them? Do I have to take them? Okay.
I mean, I'm not really caring that much about money, so I would just assume you quote unquote have the money.
Yeah.
Bonkers. So you could go outside and you could test it after procuring it, or you could save it for the stadium where you're actively going to go practice your offensive powers.
He would like to try it ahead of time, I think.
Okay. Are you trying it inside the shop or outside the shop?
Outside the shop. The guy specifically said not to do it in the shop.
Okay.
But he will, as he walks out, he'll be raise them up and be like, thanks.
You're welcome. What's your passive perception?
Oh, if I want to say either 8 or 10.
Solid.
Okay. Wonderful. So you go outside with your electric rod, your Bug Zapper, if you will, and I'm going to need you to make me a creativity roll, and you can go ahead and add your casting modifier.
A dirty 20.
With that, you shoot out a little bit of electricity from the stick.
Huh.
As you are holding it together, you can feel the energy surge through you. It's coursing through your whole body, almost uncontainable. It feels like your entire limbs of your arm that are holding it are filling up with this energy, and it is all just being funneled in through your fingertips and almost hard to hold as it busts on through, and you see a large spout of electricity come out of it. You also notice one more thing as you're doing that. There is actively a fire happening on the inside of the shop.
Huh? What? Huh? Oh no. I mean, Edwin's not gonna go in there. He's that's an on fire building. But are there authorities or something that he knows.
You didn't set the building on fire. In the inside, there is something on fire.
Okay, no, well, yeah, but there's something inside the building on fire, and that's not great. Unless it's like a contained fire, but I don't like Edwin doesn't know. Like, he would have seen it when he was in there, right?
No.
If there's any form of like...
Do you want to roll a perception check?
Oh, jeez, sure, yep.
There is 100% no teacher anywhere near.
Thank God, that's so perfect. Can I try to, like, look through the window and, like, see what's going on?
Yeah, you know that, like, autumn dryad person?
Oh, no. Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
They are very much sharing the colors of their leaves in a new accessory of fire.
Do they look panicked?
Oh, completely so.
Okay. I wasn't sure if this was just, like, cool for them.
Why are you laughing at the dryad that caught on fire?
Because imagine catching
I'm
on fire.
A fucking monster.
You can see through the window that the owl tabaxi is like running over and like spinning air. Ooh, I didn't mean to hit my mic thing. And is spinning air around them and seems to be like slowly killing the fire on the inside. Help. Help. You just hear yelling of the dulled voice of the owl tabaxi. Yelling for help.
This is horrible. Okay. Edwin will yell from still, like, outside the building, just to, like, if anyone happens to be nearby, like, you know, fire! Ah! Help! Ah! Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess he'll go in and ask, like, hey, is there anything I can do?
Please, just grab water. There's like endless water bottles back there. Please just grab a few.
Why did he not grab them? Sorry, I will go do that.
They are very much busy
Sorry.
containing the fire from burning all the product around.
Okay.
And from spreading to more of the body of the dryad.
Okay. Edwin will shovel as many bottles of endless water in as he can, and like set them up, like open them all up and start like double fisting, like whoosh, whoosh, as much as he can.
As you do that, you eventually start to put out the dryad, who looks over at you. I'm so sorry. I'm a fire type dryad. It's not good.
Okay, so this is normal.
I mean,
sorry. Edwin will. Oh, geez, that's rough. I didn't know that was like even possible, but I guess sort of anything's possible.
My name's Iplin.
Iblin?
Mm-hmm. And so with that, Edwin, you have a successful trip to the supply store. We're gonna start to go to a different person. We're gonna go to the Tower of Sight, as it is called by many of the people. But it does have an official name, but whatever. The official name of it would be the Sen Surveyor Tower. As you go up, it's like many flights of stairs, 2 long swirling steps that go all the way up this tower of about like over 75 feet. And it is a brick on the outside, but you see no bricks upon the inside. It seems to be all laid with like wooden stuff and support beams going all up along the sides. And at the very top is a tower that has brick along the outside, and then along the inside, like a secondary wall, is stained glass that all leads to a point in the front of it. And at the front, Where the stained glass ends, there is a wide circle left out of the wall and of the stained glass that looks outside. This is at the front of the Cihl school, and so it looks out along all the land.
Quick question.
Yes.
Can I have brought Jeffrey with me?
Sure.
Yes. Daffodil had to carry him up like the last half of the...
Yeah.
His legs are very small.
So it has very good looks over Tatry, the small city around the school, and it has pretty good view of just a lot of the area. Many forests out there. There are 3 people in this room. There's a red dragonborn who is in what looks like Scout's attire. There is Phil. And there is a fiend girl who... Deep red skin, looks to be wearing a skirt that is a little too short, a button-up that's a little bit more open than it should be, and seems to be staring out the center of it where there is like almost a weird look outside of the sight tower. There's like almost as if in the skyline you can see like mirrors reflecting something that you can't quite fully understand. And so yeah, all 3 of these people. Phil seems to be eagerly talking to the Dragonborn. No, you don't want to do that. You want to do this. Seems to be like giving advice here and there.
I don't recognize the fiend, do I?
No.
Okay.
The fiend quickly turns away. Thank you. That was great. And she's just super happy. Her hands and like wrists are up and close together. And she's like looking over at Phil. Thank you so much, Phil. That was so kind of you. Oh, new person. Hi there.
Oh, hey, I was just like wandering around, exploring, trying to show Jeffrey the school. Say hi, Jeffrey.
Aw, cute. You got a pet.
Jeffrey, say hi. Oh, he made a noise like he's working on the whole words thing. This is all familiar.
Oh, that's so great. I used to have a familiar. And she like bites her lips slightly. You're pretty. And she's like on the floor now, like laid up in the fetal position. God damn it. God.
Oh my god, are you okay?
Phil says. Yes, I'm fine. And when she gets up, she like buttons up her shirt a little bit more and like crosses her hand.
Did you used to go here?
No, I still do.
Do they take our familiar away after a year?
No, I got my own dorm for my health.
Oh, I understand. I think. What is this room?
Oh, you can look anywhere that you want to from here. I was looking into hell because it's funny.
What's so funny about hell? What's in there?
Oh, lots of stuff. Lots of fires, lots of ice, lots of buildings. Some like iron buildings that like burn people's feet.
That's like the only funny part so far, because like there's not a ton that's like hilarious.
Creatures.
Yeah,
very funny looking creatures.
Like Jeffrey.
Yeah, like Jeffrey, but like less funny looking. Or
You know,
more
Jeffrey,
funny looking.
you'd
More
stand
funny.
out in hell.
Jeffrey is wonderful, and I need to stop looking at you. I should go. I'm sorry. I'm a succubus.
Oh, that's a lot more ominous until you explain that.
Yeah. I'm a succubus that my powers go off at certain times. I need to go.
Yeah, you want me to like button my shirt a little? It's a little
I'm going.
Okay, bye.
Succubus runs down the stairs.
Oh, I didn't even catch your name. Hi, Phil. Did you ever
Hi.
get that dog bed?
No. What are you here to look at?
I was just here exploring, and I heard about the Tower of Sight. I didn't really know what could be up here.
Yeah. It's sight.
Like I was hoping for something a little more, like it was like cryptic, you know, like it tells you what you want to see in yourself or something. But it's just places.
Yeah.
You can see places.
Did you want to look anywhere?
Yeah, I want to see places.
Okay, where do you want to look?
There. Yeah, that's a little bit more of a harder decision. I didn't expect to have to make a choice like that.
That's fair. We got like the Cassie deserts, giant dunes, you know. We got the Va lava pools. We got the Camus.
Can I check in on Waza Lily?
Yeah, did you want to like specifically see your family?
Yeah, just, you know, make sure the shop's doing alright.
Okay. Yeah. Alright. You got this, Phil. Just kidding, I'm not doing it. My good friend here is, and by good friend I mean my pupil. He's so focused right now.
Oh, hi, I'm Daffodil. Nice to meet you.
You look at this red dragonborn whose eyes are just like pitch black, and like it's just like holding a ball of shadow that is rotating frantically in their hand. Hello! I am here to help you on your sight viewing adventures today.
Man, everyone I've been talking to has been pretty distracted.
Yeah. Just step right here and I will guide your vision further.
Do you need like a little help? I could try to help you. I think I'm a shadow type too.
No. It's okay.
My magic doesn't even do any weird things.
You know, this is part of my students' training, so it's okay if they do this by themselves.
Oh, okay. I was just like, you know, being polite.
Yeah, that's very kind of you, so go ahead and just step on up.
Alright. Can Jeffrey see too? Will he see the same thing as me?
Yeah.
Come on, Jeffrey. We're gonna see my family.
Alright. So you step on forward, and it's weird. You start to get these glimmers in the sky as if there's like a shine that draws your attention to look a certain way. And when you go there, it starts to like bounce off and starts to reflect in other areas. And it really does look like mirrors bringing your sight further and further until you start to feel like you're in a little bit of a trance. And then the mirror vision fades and all you see is looking into your building and looking over. And you can see your dad, you can see your brother. They're sitting there happily talking with this red tiefling girl who seems to have brought over some like muffins or something. And they're having a wonderful time. And some papers. And some papers have been brought over. It's so good to see you. How are everything's at the shop? Oh, you know, we're just holding it together. I got myself some new suspenders and some new pockets. I can hold and you look and there's like, I wanted to say, there's like screws and bolts inside of your father's pocket taking up like the whole thing. Oh, and look here at this new toy I got. And father goes over, wheeling back a new train, and it looks mostly the same but a different paint job, you know. That's so great. Well, you know, if you see her, feel free to give her these papers. It's always so great to see you both. Take care. When's the next time? And your vision slowly starts to go back as you see those three happily together.
Oh, I should have known. Snake.
Jesus Christ.
Thanks for the look through the tower or whatever.
Anytime. It is literally part of my job.
I thought you were the janitor.
I don't sleep. If you need to look through here, just find me and I can do it.
Alright. I mean, I'm sure some of my other roommates might like to, you know, come see how home is doing too.
Yeah, home.
You got a home, Phil?
Yeah, school.
Do you use this to look at the other parts of the school?
When I don't feel like walking the long distances, sometimes I preview Sometimes there's just doors you can bang on as much as you would like, but they won't open because they're just missing a certain thing before they can open up, you know?
Like a doorknob?
Yeah, but more so like a wall to everyone, or a wall to you, but no one else, you know?
I don't know, but
Oh, I miss our history teacher.
are they gone?
Yeah.
All right. You know, I'm just gonna. I got some stuff to take care of. You know, enjoy your existential dread and everything.
I always do.
Yeah, I have like other responsibilities I should be ignoring. So
Wonderful. So with that, you have your wonderful visit to the Tower of Sight.
that's great.
And we're gonna go to our next person, which... yeah, we're gonna do this. Okay.
Poor Phil.
We're gonna go to Adder. Adder, today you wanted to go look for Sue.
Were you sighing out loud because you know what Sue's voice is gonna do to you?
You don't know what Sue's voice is gonna do to you. Yeah. So the first thing, you go to the cafeteria. Sue's not there. You ask around, and they're like, maybe this direction. Okay, you go to the blacksmithery shop. You ask some students there, and they're like, oh, no, she got her weapon, and she went out this way. And you're like, okay.
The second somebody says she got a weapon and left, Adder is immediately hype.
It's been the better part of your morning walking back and forth until, like, you find yourself, like, on the outskirts of the walls of the school, and there are, like, just hills going down from the walls of this built area, and it's just going like straight shot down, and you see Sue, who is like hunched up against one of the walls of the school and is just like looking down at these like little tunnels all around the school.
Adder just like walks over. He's just like, what are you doing?
I'm hunting.
Oh. Are you trying to get in those holes?
No, we got a bad infection of spider goats.
Okay. Are they like goats with a lot of legs? Are they spiders with a lot of horns? What?
And so, besides Sue is a humanoid. I do not think I could call Sue like a human, because there's definitely something off. There's just something wrong about the figure Sue, who is out here in her cafeteria attire with what looks to be, for our minds, for our sakes, a sniper rifle.
Oh, okay.
For our character's sake,
Just like some
a
weird
long
wand,
stream
right?
of metal. Yeah. Some weird wand with a clip that you see her making a fire pressure and loading into it.
Oh, are the holes because of you? You were the holes.
No, it's because spider goats. They're like taking over the land.
Oh. How big are these holes?
They're like 6 foot tall, 3 foot wide, 4 foot wide, 4 foot wide.
I'm sorry, did you say 6 feet tall or deep? I'm
Yeah.
immediately concerned.
Tall. And soon enough, you actually see a spider goat. Coming out of one of the mounds is, imagine a drider,
Uh-huh.
but with a goat.
Adder just like stares at it. He's like, oh, that's weird.
So this goat spider that's like top half is goat, bottom half spider is starting to run up the hill at you, and you just like watch as it starts just shooting web out of its nostrils. And I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
13 from a dex save.
With that is not enough.
Wow.
the spider goats launch out a web, and you get caught in it as you just watch like more coming out of the hill as Sue is just unloading these rounds of these fire pressures, just shooting them, and it's just these small bullets that go out, and as soon as they hit the spider goats, they just explode about 20 feet tall, and it just looks like the hill is like getting surrounded with them as she's just like very quick, very efficient. And soon enough, Sue pulls out like the largest knife you've ever seen that should probably just be a sword that she's holding in one hand, and just like tears it along the webs and sets you free. Find food.
It's very important. Does the knife look like a big old chef's knife?
Yeah.
Good.
Oh, so
Yeah.
you can eat them?
I'm gonna make Sue's voice slightly more recognizable just for the sake of other people listening. So Sue goes, yeah, it's just heard we had a need for more meat in our cafeteria.
Ah. Cool.
Decided to get goat spider meat.
I mean,
What do you need?
that's I like spider meat. I like meat in general. I don't know if we should probably share the fact that it's spider meat with like Rebecca Amy Madeline Madison. She'd probably freak out a little bit. I tried to offer her some bugs earlier. Would not have it. Wasn't having the time. I saved them for later.
Meat's meat.
See, that's what I said. But she was like, no, I'm doing low carb. I'm like, okay, whatever.
Carb.
So is there still any like movement in the field, or is this just like a viscera explosion of spider
And
goats?
this is just a hillside.
Is it still within like the gates of the school, or?
So this is like around the wall that goes around the school.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so Adder's just gonna be like, so we're gonna like go get it?
Yeah. You helping me carry?
Yeah, okay. Why not? And so Adder's gonna help Sue carry goat spider meat. He's completely fine with just like corpses and dead bodies. Like picks up a fucking spider goat head that's still intact and makes it talk. But I think as he's like picking up viscera, he's like, yeah, you know, we're supposed to be going out and doing stuff at some point, but I guess people normally use weapons, but like I don't. I was wondering if you had any sort of like means to do like fun nail things, because Adder holds up his hand and shows that he has claws. He's like, you know, just a little like make it fancy, you know, like cha-cha. And he just like punctures the side of a spider goat. He's like, you know, something a little like better. My mom always told me to keep on my nails, and I never did, and it's a journey.
You wanting spiked fingers?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, make me an athletics check, by the way, for carrying spiders.
Also, Adder is definitely going to try some of the raw spider goat meat.
Okay, then also make me a Constitution saving
Okay,
throw.
cool. Beans. First is athletics.
Okay, yeah, so you can carry a goat spider.
It fully did not show up on my side on my phone, so I assume that showed up in chat.
You got a 16.
Hey, good for him. And then con save. 18 con save.
Pretty good. Okay, so the wildest part is that in between of the spider part and the goat part, the muscles sort of like mix together.
Ooh, tangy.
And it makes a texture that is a stew in of itself. Because there are some bits that are like longer, stringier, like harsher, and then there's like other areas that are like softer.
Huh. Neat.
And got the fight coming up soon.
Who does? You? I mean, you already beat up a bunch of goats.
Yep.
Who you fighting?
Somebody wants me job in the cafeteria. I said no.
Wait.
They didn't want to duel me for it.
Wait.
So we're just gonna have a little teacher's duel.
Wait. Wait, so like how we voted out the principal, if somebody wants to just be the new cafeteria person, they could just fight for it?
Us teachers, we got a dueling system.
Who you fighting?
Although I'm not really the one to fight the most.
Have you ever poisoned anybody, Sue?
I can't talk about that.
I mean, you're the cafeteria person, you're the curse teacher, 1 and 1 makes fun in a bunch.
Curses are just more like delicate recipes of poison.
Oh, that's fun. I mean, okay. So when you say you're not much of a fighter, so is it like a hand-to-hand combat sort of situation, or is this more of a...
No. Anything goes.
Oh my god. Do it.
Hey, what
I
the
don't get
fuck?
into fights often, but they do call me the Butcher.
Because of the meat. That's funny.
Yes. Because of the meat, not what I did to that poor ex-teacher.
Did you eat him?
No, if someone dies, we have to revive them.
I mean, that's a waste. Especially if they sucked. Like, if they sucked. Then, like, why?
Yeah. We're all here for a reason.
It's because it's a big
all I
prison, huh? We're all here
I
because
know
it's a
what I
prison.
need to do. No. Well, no. It's the biggest landscape of skill to test myself.
So you're the blacksmith teacher, and you're the curses teacher, and you're the cafeteria teacher.
Yes.
You ever make any cursed
All
blacksmith
equally
stuff?
important.
Like cursed sword?
Yes.
Like cursed armor? Like a cursed stromboli?
Yes. 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 I got a cursed serving spoon.
What, so every time somebody eats something out of it, all they taste is flies?
No. Even worse.
Cilantro!
Anytime somebody eats from something I serve from this, they only want to eat my food for the rest of the time.
Hey, that's just creating
I'm not always there.
that's just creating a problem and providing the solution. I think my dad would be all over it.
Well, I need to go get back, try more of my tools, and also get the next week's recipes ready. Do you want any food?
Just keep the meat coming because, people that are shaped like me don't really do well with a ton of roughage in our diet. Sort of like a whole digestive thing. Maybe a little bit more sand.
With that, you are walking back to the blacksmith area where Sue starts most of her meals.
In the blacksmith area?
As that's where you spend a fair amount of your day before the meeting up at the mud stadium.
Yeah, Adder is...
But before we can get to...
I was gonna say Adder is gonna, help Sue, I guess, take apart these goat spiders, guiders, and, if he can fashion some sort of knickknacks out of some horns or leave behinds, and he's definitely going to.
Sure thing. With that, we're going to go over to the library, as there are 2 people that are going to the library today.
Oh, yay.
Avery and Becca. In the northwestern corner of Cihl, there is a library. It is a rather small building. A little bit smaller than you would expect, but there's a huge tower behind it. So maybe they're just connected. Maybe together they share the library. But upon entering, you realize that is not the fate of the library. It is a rather small building. And there isn't too much room in it. It's a bit bigger than your bed, but for something like this school, you'd assume the library would be a lot larger. There's all these shelves. There's about... Now, this is going to sound big, but you would expect something much bigger. It's about at least 30 foot by 30 foot, one floor. And you notice that there are skeletal hands that will pop out and grab books off the shelf and move them. And that when a book is moved, you see another book behind it.
Huh.
There is a small goblin standing that is like moving her fingers around, and you're watching the skeletons go like almost they're being orchestrated from her. A small goblin with dark green skin and patterns of black along her face and body. And then there is also a furbolg that has like ash-colored like skin fur with like pitcher black like fur and hair that is in like brown fluffy suspenders and like a black skirt underneath that is also full of ruffles along with a white button-up, who is also like walking around and moving books. What are both of your passive perceptions?
Passive perception is 11.
Okay.
13.
13. Becca, off on the far corner of the room, far right corner, you actually do see that there are two figures that are sitting in like a duffel bag together reading. Akai being one of them, but Akai's not reading. Akai seems to be having somebody read to her. And so this is what you enter. Also, the room has a lot of wooden shelves for these bookshelves that is dark purple and dark blue and light blue wood. And it seems like there is either more books behind books or voids that these skeletal hands that just appear reach into and grab out of.
As Avery is entering this grand library, they go through a process of obvious expressions. First, when they see the size of the library, utter crushing disappointment. It's like possibly one of the most disappointing things they've experienced. And then they realize...
Yeah, Becca's like biting her lip and like, oh well, this is fine.
Yeah. And then Avery realizes what's going on here, and that the size does not necessarily dictate the catalog of the library. And then they're very interested again. But they don't go anywhere, they just sit right behind Becca.
Well, we are fascinating. I admit I did somewhat fantasize about towering shelves and sweeping aisles, but what a peculiar system here. How very efficient.
It is.
I wonder how many volumes this place could possibly contain.
It is very size efficient. I worked in a very large library back home, and they didn't use this kind of spatial system to keep things in such a small area. It was much more sprawling, so we had a lot more helpers to try and get books.
Oh, well, how fascinating. Ever, dear, wherever are you from? I must have to make a visit someday.
I'm from a forest that's in a mountain range. We don't really have people from outside the forest enter very frequently because some parts of it are not safe for travelers. So our community is very isolated, but I don't know, maybe you can visit someday.
Oh, well, how fascinating, my dear. I can relate. My people are a bit isolated where I come from as well. Lovely area to be sure, but a bit out of the way from the rest of civilization.
Where do you come from?
Oh, far down south, past the remnants, if you're familiar.
I'll be honest, until I came to this school, I have never left the boundaries of my home forest, so not super familiar with the outside world.
Oh, well, it is just a lovely bit of country. We don't get visitors there very often either. The trip to the North Country is an unpredictable and perilous one, and so we are quite comfortably self-sustained. It is not one our caverns hazard frequently. But yes, it's just about an hour's ride from the coast if your mule's feeling motivated, and a lovely sprawling country.
It sounds very nice.
Perhaps someday when I visit home, all of us could take a trip.
That sounds nice. I would love to. In the meantime, We have a library to explore.
Yes, we have books to explore. Avery, dear, whatever are you partial to reading?
I'm interested in a very specific topic. I was looking for knowledge about spirit bonds, cases of previous people that have bonded with spirits in a temporary or permanent basis.
Oh, well, that is just fascinating. Well, I will leave you to your exploring then. It's been a while since I opened a fresh title of any variety, so I think will check out the fiction section to begin with.
Enjoy your reading.
Hello, I'm Cihl. If you are looking for anything in particular, I can help. I'm the one who reaches into the void. The goblin says, walking over to you both. Her expression is like, she kind of looks like she's a little bit pissed off, but she does have a smile. Welcome to the library.
Oh, well, good morning, ma'am. Thank you kindly. It's a pleasure to meet your acquaintance. I'm Rebecca Amy Madeline Madison, and my friend here.
Avery. Sorry.
Pleasure. I overheard what you were saying, and I've decided to... Is that what you were looking for? Spirits and stuff?
Yes, any historical accounts or research materials on that subject would be very much appreciated. Are we allowed to check out books?
Yes you are. Alright, let's get to those books then. And you watch as she twists her hand and like light comes around her fingertips and she pushes her hand through and like you almost like watch as her skin like almost seems skeletal inside this like portal area. Also, there seems to be little balls of light in the lantern all across the room, but they do not look like fire. They look like just like magical balls of light. Okay, I would like you to roll me in 2 investigation checks, or in an investigation check with advantage.
20. Unnatural.
With the 20. Yeah. She begins pulling out a series of books about spirits and fusion. And the history behind spirits and where they originated from. The first book is mainly on light types. So if you would like, you can sit down and read that, and I will give you the information for that, and that will be like a bit of your day.
Yeah, Avery would love to read that.
Okay. In each corner of the room, and then like in between these like little small hallways, there's like bean bags and chairs all around. First things first about this world that I need to add to the lore, or not really add, but need to tell you guys because it's been a while since we set up this world together, and it is a huge difference. In the light type book, there is no mention of gods.
Peculiar.
This is something we set up beforehand. Gods are mostly gone from this world. There is barely any mention of them at all. That being said, what the book says is how spirits fuse first can go through... Okay, so how spirits fuse is typically how light types are made or people of certain characteristics. Like a blessing of a strong spirit. And you can get a spirit inside of your body to reside there in a series of different ways. And if you're in the presence of a strong spirit and you show traits of themselves or things that they agree with, they might bless you with them. It can also be a curse from someone else to have the eyes of something on you. So, have a spirit forcibly upon you from like a curse or something like that. To be born with someone looking over you, a strong spirit looking over you, typically how light types are made, is often referred to as certain spirits that are looking over them. Capturing a spirit for yourself, or when a spirit is running for something, they will use people as vessels to hide. And that is mostly what you get.
Okay. During this entire time of reading this book, Avery is deeply entranced with a very prominent frown as they scan through this book.
Becca, is there anything you would like to look for?
Now that she's got the librarian nearby, actually, she's gonna address her.
Yeah.
My dear lady, this is a library classification system that I am most unfamiliar with, and I must admit I am fascinated. Would you be so kind as to explain in a little more detail how this all works?
Well, it requires me to... I know where everything is and I know where everything goes. It's not exactly ordered the best way, but it's more like... All of these books I have read, and I remember. I can bring out any of the ones that people are speaking about in this library. So,
I see.
when somebody asks for something, whatever clicks in my head as familiar here, here, and here, I grab that one.
Well, what an impressive mind you have, my dear lady. That certainly is some job security right there. But where are these books kept when they are not on display, as it were? It seems as if this room holds more volumes than it is physically capable
It's
of
kept
doing.
in my
unless it is-
dimension.
Your own personal one?
Yes.
Well, now that is just fascinating. Well, thank you very much for your time, my dear lady. I think I'll be acquainting myself with these aisles now.
Very well. Have fun. If you need anything, just ask.
Oh, thank you kindly.
Alright. That, you, what are you looking for?
Gosh, I think she just wants like a fun new book to read, honestly. She
Okay.
just wants something with some like maybe some adventure and some romance and something fun.
Okay.
She'll check out history later, but it's been a while since she just had a good fiction.
So off in the corner of the room, you can actually hear that there is there is an adventure book that is being read in a rather high voice, and Akai is just sitting across this, like over this person, and they're just having a good time as you are finding your own little adventure book. And there's quite a few, an entire section, and when you pull a book out, that space just fills with another book. Like another book is just pushed forward, and when you push a book down, it just scoots another one back.
I feel like within a few minutes, Becca's just gonna it's gonna be like 10 minutes. Becca's gonna wander out of an aisle with just like a stack of books, just looking like kind of like eyes glazed over and like kind of like sparkly, but not all there, and just this like just sort of this rush like glow on her face, and just go up to the library and be like, my dear lady, did you say there was there a limit for how many volumes we could check out at a time? I am just down the hall. I don't really need to take all of these at once. I just enough for tomorrow.
She raises her hand and like walks away. Not my area. I don't deal with that. And then she points over to the Furbolg. And the Furbolg starts dragging these really wide and long circular glasses down their face a little bit. Hello. I can help you over here. How many? That stack. How many is in that stack? That's quite a bit.
Just a little short of 11. It looks like so far. I can. I can contain.
How
myself.
long do you think it's going to take you to read through all them?
Oh, once? Oh, just a day or so. Well, it does depend on my studies, I suppose. They've been a bit light so far, but I'm sure that will pick up.
Okay, I'm gonna put a 2-week stamp in them then. All right?
Oh, thank you ever so kindly. I just, I admit I am a bit overcome. Every piece of literature back home I could get my paws on, I've already consumed over and over again. I just treasure the rare joy of opening a fresh story.
Okay, is these your first books that you'll be taking out of our area?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It's my first visit.
I
beg your pardon. Rebecca Emmy Madeline Madison.
Oh.
And she, like, kind of fishes an arm out from under the stack to, like, extend a hand.
No, pleasure. My name's Leliot.
Lilia, charmed, I'm sure.
So in 2 weeks' time, these books will disappear. So don't worry about it.
Oh. Oh, well, how convenient. I would have. Thank you for the warning.
And with that, you get your endless pile of books.
Yay.
Are people happy with what they've done in the day?
Yes.
Avery would like to check out that book that they got possible
Okay,
for their
sure
study.
Sure thing. You go through the same thing. You get, how long do you ask for, by the way?
Probably a week.
Okay, so they have this little, like, stamp, and they have what looks to be maybe 12 different stamps behind the desk where they pick one up, they put it in the ink, and they press it into the book. And where they press it into the book, there are no other stains of this said ink. So, that's something. And with that, you get your book, and oh my goodness, it's time to get to the arena. To the mud arena. So eventually, you all know the school well enough, or at least one of you can find your way to the area you go into before you get into the arena. There is an area where you get gear, and Ergo is waiting there for you all. And Ergo is just like, they look like they haven't slept in a few days, and they're just pulling out more supplies, and they're just grinding up and making all of these potions. And the sheet you saw them with this morning, when they're like, hey, come here at this time, okay, bye, is about half the size now. And with that, you enter into this. So when you enter into this building, on the outside, it almost looks like this building is entirely made of steel. And it is connected to a large, like, a dome that is actually possible to walk over for a variety of the school areas, as it reaches into where, like, the other buildings are on its far areas, and it looks like the buildings are just, like, partially built on top of it. It's just, like, underground.
Oh,
The dome itself is underground. This building is not.
gotcha.
Along with that, when you go inside of this building, all of the walls look like pitch black void with gray streaks along them. And there are all these, like, cubbies and other things. There is a list, or not a list. There is an area full of equipment. And Ergo goes over, glad to see you all could make it. Sorry. What kind of armor would each of you like?
Yes, on that note, my dear sir, I'm just wondering if maybe perhaps there has been some kind of misunderstanding. I do not come from timid stock, unlike any sensible folk. I've learned a thing or two about self-defense, but if you hope to make some kind of warrior of me, I must impress upon you I'm a gentlewoman, neither the sensibilities nor the figure suited for combat.
What's the matter, Becca? Afraid to get your hands dirty?
I'm a pacifist.
My dear, I was raised on a farm. My hands are perfectly comfortable getting dirty. However, violence, now that is most abrasive
It's
to
just
me.
a little sparring.
We probably won't do any, like, actual violence about, like, living creatures.
Okay, well, any of you that would not like harm to fall upon you, just tell me now, and none of the mud creatures will attack you.
Oh, I want to get hurt.
What?
Wait, did Daffodil just say I want to get hurt?
It's half the fun of fighting.
Okay?
Well, I don't particularly wish to be harmed by the mud creatures any more than I wish to harm them. They haven't
Okay.
done anything to me as
Becca?
of yet.
The reason we're training your combat abilities is that it helps you bring focus to your powers.
Ooh.
It's like the classes of learning curses and stuff like that is the preamble to get you a little bit more of a presence so that we can actually start to focus it.
We need XP.
Well, I see. I suppose if I just think of it as sort of a athletic exercise to improve my mental focus, then Well, I will give it my best endeavor. That is all I can promise you, sir.
SER.
So, all right.
I'm completely game for this, so don't worry for me.
Yeah, Edwin.
Okay.
Edwin's down to get dirty.
All right. What about you, Adder?
I mean, I'll happily watch Edwin and Avery get the shit kicked out of them. Why not?
All right. No harm for Adder or Becca.
I'm so excited.
Wonderful.
Adder just like looks over at Avery's like, I'm so excited for you to see you blossom into the warrior I know you could be.
I'm already a bit of a warrior, Adam.
Adder busts out laughing.
So,
Yeah, I thought you'd react like that.
what weapons do you want? And armor. I got to get you studded leather. Well, okay. Actually, Becca and Adder, you won't need armor.
Actually, I was about to
the
say,
rest of you.
meta, Adder shouldn't be wearing armor anyway because his racial abilities give him more defense as it is.
I could use some decent medium strength armor if you've got it. I can't wear the heavy stuff.
Not quite yet as first years, and you'll figure out why soon.
Uh-oh.
Just leather armor.
So I would like you all to pick between fire, air, earth, ice, lightning, plant, shadow, water.
Hey, what are we?
Just-
What?
Just
This is your armor.
vaguely,
Oh, I see.
Oh,
And
but you said we didn't need any Adder or myself.
Oh yes, if you're not
What?
going to be getting hurt,
What?
then you don't need armor.
what does this
There's
armor
a lot of armor.
do?
It's different for each one. You'll get to try them all out eventually while we practice things. So, how about you just give me a type and I will throw a set at you.
Okay. Wind.
Wind, all right. Okay.
Edwin will take. Well, that might as well go with lightning, right?
It's all
Okay.
family.
His type.
I'll try some plant.
Okay.
What kind of weapons do you have available? Because my people work with specific ones that I would like if you have them.
We have all types of weapons. We're kinda... Since we've been... First year blacksmiths and enchanters classes have been going on for quite a while, so we really have a lot. What are you thinking?
My people traditionally use scythes.
Alright. I can get you a scythe.
Thank you.
They go over to an area and they just like open up a closet door and it's just like full of weapons like thrown everywhere. They look like a little bit irritated at the mess it's in, and they just like reach in and you just hear like this clanking of metal and stuff, and eventually alright, here's a scythe. And
Thank you.
it's a nice scythe at the way bottom of like the hilt. It very much shows that like somebody was like trying to like trying to form a skull at the bottom with like crafts, and they only made it like halfway before maybe they ran out of time, maybe they were done, you know.
Avery looks at this messed up skull as if it's the most tacky thing they've seen.
What other weapons?
Oh, I don't need any weapons. I got my tails.
Alright, and we are here to practice your elements, so if you're using your elements to buff yourself or anything, that's good. What other weapons we needed?
Could I get? I don't know, a rapier, I guess.
Yep, I got you, Edwin. They go over and they grab your rapier.
Dex fighter.
Dex.
I wish you luck.
Imagine having Dex.
These mud people.
People?
Yes.
These mud people. Am I to understand that these are not actually creatures with any sentience?
Oh,
or
God,
degree
no.
of,
God, no.
Oh. Well then, I suppose.
Sorry. Let me redo that. Spirits no.
Gods aren't real.
God is dead. All gods are dead.
Well, then I suppose if I'm supposed to equip myself with some version of combat. A shield would be a good start, and
All right.
I suppose a sword would match. So a sword and shield, if you
I'll take
please.
a shield.
Okay. And all right. They go over. They get each of you shields, and they get you a longsword. And the longsword is like more curled into the end. And then also split and goes down a bit split, and then has like metal in between keeping it together. Are we ready to go have our first go?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Let's get out there. Now they open up these doors in a staircase that leads down, and the pitch black gray gradient room quickly fades as you guys are walking down the staircase. As you get a little bit deeper into this area, there is a particular voice speaking in primordial that you hear, Adder.
What?
Boss, I'm gonna save you. I'm gonna save you real soon.
Reggie. You're the real MVP, Reggie.
And so with that, you guys get into this this mud clay stadium, and it seems like there's other students here, and when they defeat like a mud monster, it like makes a tunnel going down deeper into the ground, and like students are like going through, and it like gives like the whole like exploring aspect.
I'm
And
really good
there's
at
like
whole
a
exploring.
high perch of like almost like claws are reaching back over the dome of clay, and you watch as very quickly Ergo goes and hops all the way up to the top and then sits along the top looking down at the area, and then they start moving their hand, and you watch as electricity comes out and starts zapping into the mud, and you watch as these 3 clay golems come out of the floor. All right, I'm wishing you the best. Go for it.
Team.
Ooh.
And
Violence.
yeah, let's roll initiative.
Woo.
I was thinking about whether I wanted to do that this session or next. Edwin, you are the first one up as you get out to these clay fields, and like all 3 of them turn to you and start looking at you and start raising their hand as they look like they're all gonna go after you, Edwin.
Uh-oh.
And Edwin, as like you're getting out on the field, you're feeling really fast. The lightning armor doubles your speed.
Fantastic. Holy shit.
So Edwin, what do you want to do? There's these.
Edwin's going to, just charge and hit one with his rapier first thing, at least.
Go for it.
Can Edwin try to replicate what he did with the Bug Zappers and try to zap them with his rapier?
Yeah, go ahead and roll a creativity
that's
check.
Such a great idea.
Fantastic.
I can't wait for your electricity.
That's an 18.
Yeah, you make an electric rapier.
Sure do.
As you do.
Uh-huh.
Go ahead and make an attack.
I'd love to. Okay. That's a critical
Oh.
hit. It's a critical strike.
So for your electricity, add an additional d6,
Okay.
but because that's going to be doubled.
Okay. So it's going to be 2d8
Edwin
and
coming out.
2d6.
Turn 1 with the crazy damage.
Crammage.
So you run forward and you stab into one, and like the electricity is just pouring out of your rapier, and you're watching as it's like dancing off the skin of the clay golem. And like it presses out, and it's almost like waves of pushing out away from the clay golem. As you watch, like part of the clay like shatters to the ground and is like a hard material now.
Weird.
Like just like regular like stone or like
Yeah,
dried clay. Or
like dried clay a little bit.
Okay.
Like
Like hot electricity.
clay maybe thrown in like a furnace.
like hot
Yeah.
electricity.
Adder, go ahead and go.
I mean, Adder's. Adder just like lifts the shield, starts walking around the arena a bit, just looking at what everybody else is doing. He's gonna jump in if like Avery specifically starts getting the shit absolutely kicked out
Aw.
of them, but and like he's gonna slide himself between Rebecca, Amy, Madeline, Madison, and the golems. But other than that, he's just hanging out.
Adder, you might recognize this just because you're, like, not fighting right now. Edwin is, like, looking down, like, super confused and, like, what is going on here at Edwin? Avery, what would you like to do?
Well, first describe what my armor does.
Okay, sorry, what was your armor again?
Win.
Wind, okay. You have a +1 to AC, and you have double your jump.
Double my jump.
Yes.
Okay, Avery's gonna slide in there as close to the nearest golem as possible. We agreed long ago that scythes would be a reach weapon, so I will only get within 10 feet, and I will make an attack, and then I will retreat as far as I feasibly can.
Okay.
14 to hit.
14 hits.
8 damage.
Are you going for the one that's already been injured? Sorry.
Yeah.
That one cracks to the floor and shatters. A lot of its inside seems to be like burnt solid, and when it goes to the ground, to like this like dark brown ground that's like almost like moving like sand waves slightly, you see like an insignia on the floor. After this happens, we're leaving combat for a second. We will get back to combat. Combat's not over.
Okay.
But out of the clay wall by Edwin, a giant rock golem in a suit busts out and punches, or not by Edwin, by Ergo, jumps out besides Ergo and punches Ergo off of the ledge about 40 feet up.
Uh-oh. Ergo.
Really glad that wasn't Edwin.
Is it Reggie time?
And Reggie is at the top and yelling, "I'm gonna save you, master." And you guys just hear a clap as Ergo hits the floor, and like they look up, and they took a bit of damage from the fall and from getting hit. They seemed too tired to properly react, and they look up at this like elemental, and their fur seems to like gray, and they're like, all right, and they start to stand up, and that is where we're calling the session.
Oh my god.
Let's fucking go.
I thought I should write to you to let you know how I'm doing at school. It's a very strange place, honestly, for so many reasons. There's the obvious ones. There's a lot less trees in the forest. It's a lot less cold. There's a lot more buildings and people. Instead of spreading themselves out like we do, they gather all their people and buildings and homes in one big place. It's really claustrophobic and overwhelming, but it's also a lot safer. You don't have to worry about running into trouble. The strangest thing has been the people, though. I got put in a room with some other students. Most of them are fine. Edwin's a funny guy. He seems along for the ride, honestly. He's nice. Rebecca Amy Madeline Madison is also not all that strange. She's got a big personality, but she's very nice. But then you have the other roommates, like Adder and Daffodil. Adder's he's a kid. He's kind of bitter, kind of rude, and just kind of seems overall unhappy to be here. And can't say I don't relate, but I think he's nice under it all. He's also very bright, so I hope to spend a lot more time with him. Maybe we can do some experiments together. We're in a class together after all. Daffodil is something else. Her magic manifests in a way that makes me very uncomfortable. It makes her porcelain dolls that she brought so many of. She brought so many of them. And they're all super haunted. I woke up with one in my bed, and I wasn't a fan. But I feel like I might want to run some tests on them, because it might help me understand my own powers. I know, don't mess with the affairs of potential spirits, but I think the cost is worth the potential results. I hope things are going well back home. I'm sure you'll keep everyone safe, as you always have. I'll do my best to make sure that that doesn't change when I eventually come home. Until we next meet, Avery.